extra kids show up that I wasn't expecting, and I had to like reorganize the whole thing on the fly. So like during the first inning, I'm like trying to rework this lineup.
Okay,
so I was drunk Tom Hanks.
So you were frazzled.
I was a little
That's fine. It's fine.
Maybe
a little caught off.
Maybe this is an opportunity.
But you know what? One game at a time. It's just one game.
So long 178 games.
Long 178 or perhaps less than that games. And we're gonna get back out there on Wednesday, and we're gonna get couple different pitchers on the mound, get a look at them. Learned a lot about our team. Like some of the fight in our team, some of the resolve. It was very, very strong. So we're going to come back on Wednesday. We're going to hope for some better results, and hopefully we'll do better.
Good. Well, maybe it's an opportunity here for you to have like some Mayhem show guest coaches.
Yeah. Who would like to come down and?
I mean, maybe some of the Mayhemers.
I think Brohemoth would be a
guest third base coach.
Brohemoth would be
kind of have a
third base coach.
Brohemoth as a third base coach. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Noir as a third base coach. Coach.
Yeah.
Third base ghost.
That
sounds right.
I gotcha.
Right.
Do you think we could get the gavel, David Lawless, in to
that'd
help
be great.
Argue balls and strikes?
Yeah,
can you help me out with that?
Yeah.
Because I tell you, we got hosed on a call. We got hosed on a call. Okay, and for the first time in my youth baseball managerial career, I got to yell, "You're killing me, Blue!" Right at the umpire. He was right there in front of me. He heard it, and I'm like, "Let's call." And I followed it up with, "Let's call New York and have them take a look at it." And he laughed again. So
did you start kicking dirt?
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I don't, when we argue balls and strikes and he throws me out of the game, then we'll kick dirt. This was just a blown call.
Matt,
letting him know.
By the way, if you do get to a point where you get kicked out, there is a precedence that we expect you to live up to. You have to run to whatever base it was, pick up the base, and walk away with it.
I would tote it away like I'm Lloyd McClendon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Or pull a Malachi Black and just sit crisscross applesauce right on the base until the call is what you would like it to be.
Maybe I'll do Snow Angels in the dirt.
I like the Snow Angels. I like the Snow Angels.
That one.
Yes. Anyways, wrestling tonight. I did watch Elevation. And enjoyed Elevation. Let me have this, Mike. Me and Matt are gonna have this conversation.
I want to say good things about Raw. Raw was actually pretty good.
Okay, well, I'm just getting the Elevation stuff out of the way so you guys can talk about Raw. So, the biggest thing was Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. And Joey's new friend getting involved there is probably the biggest development there. But
who's Joey's new friend?
I can't. Kayla Rossi, that's right. She did like a standing back. So they put a chair on Sonny's back, and she did like a standing backflip into a stomp on the chair.
Ooh,
it was impressive. And she is like buff too, she's not like some little cheerleader Alexa Bliss waif doing this thing, right? So like it was impressive. I just woke up. Echo, sorry. Sorry, room. Anyways, but no, yeah. So it was some good stuff there, and Kingston telling Tony he'll go far in this business is always fun. But I mean, just listen for Eddie Kingston. And if you think Chris, I'm sorry, I thought the Echo was playing music now. If you think Chris Jericho yelling on Rampage is something, I think Kenny's only got one mode. So we'll go with that. Anyways. So, I mean, that's my Elevation report. It was fun. It was a good watch. It was good to have on while I was tinkering with stuff, like as usual, right? So, she's definitely playing. Alexa, stop! There we go. So what happened on Raw?
Playing the role of Charlotte tonight will be Sorg.
Oh, okay. So what did happen on Raw tonight? Is there anything worth me checking this out? And should I be tuning into this pay-per-view or whatever we call it these days?
All right. I'll start with. There was a lot of women's segments on the show tonight, which is good. I wish the matches were a touch longer.
Okay.
The matches were not very long. We have new women's tag team champions.
Oh. Okay.
In Neke and Rhea. Sorg, you do have to watch the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte segment. Oh boy. Oh boy. They got a little catty, and it was pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. I enjoyed it a great deal. Alexa has basically, like, she was, Matt, would you say like a hair away from breaking into Get Out of Here, Charlotte?
You would know better than me. So
you didn't say that. Okay. Yeah, Alexa was a stone's throw away from breaking into full out Get Out of Here, Charlotte. Like, just basically parroting everything that we've said about Charlotte for the past year and a half or so.
Wow.
Maybe we should grab that YouTube and add her. So
honestly,
that it's out there.
It's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good segment, and Charlotte, Charlotte bit back and she went after Alexa's, character and all that stuff, and it was a good segment. And then they brawled a little bit, and I'm excited for that match on Sunday. We opened Sorg, believe it or not, with the New Day versus the Bloodline.
Ooh. Oh, wow. So
we
were in full-on crossover tonight, huh?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crossover till the pay-per-view, till the draft probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But it ended with, it was a little weird how it ended because Bobby Lashley came out and attacked people, but the ref didn't call for a DQ for some reason. I don't know. So Reigns pinned Woods. So technically the Bloodline won, even though it should have been a DQ. Jeff Hardy is now added to the U.S. title match. So it's Sheamus, Hardy, and Priest at Extreme Rules. There was some stuff with AJ and Randy. I'll be honest, I don't know what it was. I was eating dinner at the time, so I didn't get to fully catch up on what that was. But yeah, and then Big E was pissed that Lashley attacked all of New Day. Reigns was pissed that Lashley attacked all of the Bloodline. So the main event was Lashley versus Reigns versus Big E, and it was really fucking good.
Just for kicks.
Yeah,
I did catch it, and it was very good.
Yeah, stuff I was seeing looked pretty good there. So
yeah, it was a wonderful main event. It was good times. Good times. It's weird because we're going into Extreme Rules not having a WWE title match, but I'm assuming that they'll book Big E versus Lashley
something on
Extreme
Friday.
Rules.
Yeah. That seems obvious. So wait, where are we at with matches for that? In general, I honestly don't know.
I mean, they've got at least 6 matches announced.
Yeah, I'll bring up the deal.
Yeah,
they're doing Reigns versus Balor. They're doing Charlotte versus Alexa. They're doing Becky versus Bianca.
Yep.
There is there isn't. Wait.
There's
obviously
Charlotte
US
versus
title match.
Charlotte versus Alexa, Priest versus Hardy versus Sheamus.
There's a SmackDown Tag Title match. They're doing
Usos versus Street Profits
again.
Yeah,
which will most likely be some kind of gimmick match.
Yeah, your Demon versus Reigns. Your Demon versus Reigns is obviously the biggest thing here, right?
It's Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
and there's no Extreme Rules.
No
matches announced yet. Right?
Reigns versus Demon is Extreme Rules now.
Oh, is it now? Okay.
It was just announced after Raw went off the air. And we're also getting Liv Morgan versus Carmella. So I'm okay with that. That's 3 women's matches on a pay-per-view. I'm down for it.
I cannot. I really expect that last one to end up on a pre-show. To be honest,
potentially. But still, I'll take it.
No, wait a minute. Didn't we have arguments about whether they count as a pay-per-view match if they're on the pre-show?
It doesn't count, but it's still booked.
And also, why do I have glitter in my beard? You see this thing? What's happening right now?
That's a question you need to ask.
I remember glitter
privately.
at this show tonight. What the hell is going on? I didn't even
Sorg,
see the run.
Glitter is the herpes of craft supplies.
Is it just like, do I still have glitter on me from a show 2 weeks ago? What's happening?
Yes.
Oh.
Sorg.
Yeah,
Sorg,
that stays with you.
You still have glitter on you from 2nd grade.
So that
I'm telling you.
There's still some in my lungs from that one ICP show about 20 years ago.
That explain it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what this cough is for.
I mean, if you inhaled that glitter 20 years ago,
I definitely
there's
did.
a good chance that it's just been existing inside your body for the past 20 years and just kind of like spurts out every once in a while based on your body position or a cough or a sneeze or something like that.
Somewhere.
ICP glitter is forever.
Somewhere in the crevices of my body is just a pocket of glitter and Diet Fago. Okay. Anyways, well that's an idea.
Oh, and Biggie also opened the show, and he didn't say Brody by name, but he thanked Brody for his support, and the crowd did chant Brody a little bit, so that was very nice.
Cool.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah, because I know there was something. I know Bryce said something this week as well on Twitter. Congratulating him too. So like all around. So yeah, that's great. That's great. So
yeah, Raw was a decent show. Pretty decent show. Has its flaws. Well, just like all shows do. Oh, I forgot. Shayna beat the fuck out of Nia Jax.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, Nia's probably going away for a spell.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Shayna basically like broke Nia's arm.
Shit.
Like put her hands
Jr. style
in the handle of the ring steps and stomped on it.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a short match. It was a Shayna squash, but it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely.
But
so you're telling me worth pulling up the YouTube clips on this one?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I mean, I think that's where I'm at. And it's a little bit of the Ring of Honor philosophy, because Ring of Honor, and Impact too, fucking Impact. I'm not following the week by week show because I only have so much bandwidth, right? But I'm going to check in for the pay-per-views, and that's worked out pretty well so far in both companies until now. So WWE, it kind of is turning into that for me. Like the week to week doesn't seem to matter to me, so like why
not
is
always a slog.
Why
but
not?
Honestly,
I know
so they're gearing up for stuff.
Sure,
I'd watch it.
I don't know. I'd rather keep up with the G1, to be honest.
Okay.
Like this is like something happens. Like
I mean, I did just explain to you a lot of stuff happened.
Yes, but I don't know if I.
And you know me. Normally, I'm the guy that says nothing happened.
And I'm still not sure if I care that it happened. Is the problem?
All right.
So
okay.
Like they've just gnawed at me for so long. So
the Bloodline versus
I like that that Raw seemed to be on a better track, because I caught probably the second half of SmackDown on Friday, and that was just an empty void of nothingness on Friday night, where there was nothing. It was just this classic episode where you just feel like this isn't going anywhere. They're just marking time and just keeping pots boiling until they are ready to pull the trigger on the next thing. So
because the problem SmackDown has right now is that they were trying to build a match with Reigns and Balor, but we already have Reigns versus Brock booked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem.
They got that little double whammy issue, right? Although has Demon lost as the Demon?
Not in WWE proper. He has an NXT, but he's never been pinned.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm trying to remember because the only person to beat
the loss is Samoa Joe. Yeah. I think you're thinking of a cage match.
Yeah, it was a steel cage match, but I don't remember if Joe escaped or if he made Balor tap.
I want to say that he hit him with a muscle buster, but maybe not.
He hit a super muscle buster.
Okay.
So a muscle buster off the top rope. So really, he broke out the big guns to beat the Demon.
Yeah,
which is fine. But yeah, that's the only loss on record for the Demon.
I'm looking at what they did tonight on Raw, and I guess they feel like they need a strong main event, but New Day versus the Bloodline for me would have been at least as compelling as Balor versus Reigns for a main event for Extreme Rules. They should have
just done that Extreme Rules style.
Of course, you're doing your interpromotional battle like a month before Survivor Series, but who cares? It's fine.
The one time a year. Apart from all those other times. But see, the thing is, before Survivor Series, we got a draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is.
Who the hell knows?
The other thing too is that they ran into this last year. They do the draft. You spend all this time kind of getting used to the alignments of the different wrestlers, and then they draft. They shuffle the deck, and then these reshuffled rosters, basically declare blood feud on each other for their new show that they've been on for a week.
Hey, Matt, are we gonna do another draft special?
Why not? Let's go. I don't even know what the rules are gonna be.
Good luck.
We should absolutely do that because
that was fun last time.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. So
George, you mentioned the G1.
I did mention the G1. I've been enjoying the G1. I'm a G1 and a half into it.
Good for you. Boy, I'm proud of you. I am both G1s in plus a New Japan Strong in. I haven't been too deep into New Japan lately because of at least when it comes to what's happening back in Japan. Because honestly, creatively it's been a little bit stagnant lately. They're not a lot of it's not a very dynamic thing to follow at the moment. But the nice thing about the G1 is that there is a purpose behind everything, and it's fun to watch the tournament play out because it's such an intricate little game of booking, piece moving stuff like that. So it's exciting to watch. So Sorg, let me just ask you the one most important question when it comes to the G1, aside from did you see Yano versus Kenta?
Oh, did I?
Of which you and I are the last two wrestling fans who still like watching Yano matches.
I love it.
All these New Japan long timers think they're too good for Toru Yano.
Yes.
But I know the truth. That man is great, and I love watching his matches.
Wait, first of all, they found tape on both of them in their gear, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yes. I love when the only thing better than the referee checking the wrestlers before the matches begin is when the referee checks the wrestlers and finds stuff. That's the best. When it's like, what's this? Finding a roll of tape on Yano, and then Yano insists they check Kenta, and then turns out Kenta had a roll of tape on him too.
So they end up fighting to the stage, which I also appreciate. Like we do have a stage set up for these shows, right? They're in one of the bigger venues, and they fight to the stage, and in the piping, that kind of piping lattice kind of thing that's usually used on wrestling stages, like he finds more tape. Yano takes it, throws it in the crowd. But there's another pack of tape hidden in the set again, and it ends up taping Yano into. And I also love every time Yano does something illegal, Kevin Kelly's monitor goes out.
Man, I know. Like I should get
love
sick
this so much.
I should get sick of that bit.
Yes.
But like every time he winds up for a low blow, Kevin Kelly is just immediately like, "What? My monitor went out. What happened?"
Yes.
It's funny every time to me, but what can I say? I'm a supporter.
We're here for the hits.
But yeah, I like the two master villains at work trying to out villain each other, and it's a good time.
Those are always good ones.
The other important question, which I glossed over, did you watch Shingo Takagi versus Tomohiro Ishii?
The problem is, I watched that, and it was the main event of night 1 of G1. And Ishii is the big badass. Like that's how I was introduced to Suzuki, that we all know now from AEW, was Ishii and him just clubbering the shit out of each other. And man, am I now sold on Shingo as champion.
Yeah, Shingo's the
Holy
man.
shit.
I'm glad you're won over.
Yes,
Ishii is, for those who don't get into the New Japan quite as much, Ishii and Ishii matches are basically exactly what your brain imagines a New Japan match is. It's just, forearms and headbutts and fighting spirit and just mean guy matches, clobbering each other. It's lariats and suplexes and headbutts and just rough and tough, strong dudes, mean guys, as I said. Mm-hmm. There's a great moment in this match where they are like going like they're doing like a full-blown fighting spirit sequence. Mm-hmm. And it's like clothesline, dude pops up, clotheslines the other guy, dude pops up, suplex, dude pops up, suplexes the other guy, dude pops up. Ishii finally gets like hit with like one more clothesline. They do this like they go through this like 7 moves like this. And Ishii gets knocked down with a clothesline, acts like he's gonna get up and like continue the fight, continue with the fighting spirit. And it is as if his body stops on him as he's starting to get up, and he kind of like teeters and he just kind of like tumbles over. It's so goddamn good. It's just so good. That man is great, and you're right about Shingo is brilliant. The match is amazing. There's actually, it appears there's a superplex during this match that goes awry, and for one reason or another, they take a kind of a scary tumble off the top rope. But Ishii takes it from there. And typically you kind of roll your eyes when you see wrestlers, repeat the spot when they blow the spot and then they repeat the spot. They repeat the spot, but the way Ishii did it was that I'm so pissed off, I'm putting you back on this top rope and we're doing this damn move. And obviously they were able to hit it the second time. Amazing match, and it's a shame it overshadowed another match on that card that a lot of people actually, I'm sure there are fans who like this match more than Shingo Ishii, but the Naito Zack Sabre Jr. match is great too, especially if you're into that Zack Sabre Jr. kind of aesthetic for your matches. That match was great too, and that was a great opening night. There was a monster upset on that show.
Yes.
With God, I can barely even say it. With Yujiro Takahashi beating Kota Ibushi. I just want to say it one more time. I just want to say.
Take a deep breath.
Yujiro Takahashi beat Kota Ibushi.
Wow.
And it wasn't even that dirty. It was kind of clean. It was pretty clean.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah, we're setting the stage here, aren't we? The other one that really
it was the first match on the show, first match of the G1, out of the gate.
So the other one that really won me over, and he ended up losing, Tama Tonga, and I've been a fan of Tama Tonga, Girls of Destiny, for about a year now. Just more and more growing on me. And he had a match with Sonata, and I loved, even in the commentary, they're talking about like, yeah, you don't know what version of Sonata you're gonna get. Is he like A-level Sonata, or is he like B9 Sonata? So like they're completely admitting that Sonata he kind of goes back and forth on whether it gives a shit or not, right? So
they should call the lesser version TNA Sonata.
Oh my god.
Was there a was he in TNA?
Yeah, well, they've kind of made this into part of his character that Sonata, if he's on, he can beat anybody, but if he's not on,
I think I left off. They were just getting the introductions for Goto and Taichi. So tell me, am I going to love this Taichi match or what? So it's kind of
pretty good
it's
by
hit and miss
Taichi
for me.
standards.
Yeah.
I mean, you also get the full Taichi entrance.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
I'm sitting there, and I've been watching it. I've been watching it upstairs with the since the lady is back, and of course, who has the bunny lady come out with them?
That would be Yujiro Takahashi.
That's
Takahashi. The scantily clad
Yes, with her butt
woman
hanging out,
with the bunny ears
and
come out with them.
the kind of stripper dance, and she's like, "What are we watching?" I'm like, "This is how they do in Japan, I guess." So
this is
how we Japan. I don't know.
For many years,
it's a cultural difference. I'm learning. Okay, so. But that was fun. It was good. It's a fun show, for sure. And then the Strong. So I go from the Ishii main event to Ishii in the opening match of Strong.
Oh yeah, versus Alex Coughlin.
Yes.
Young lion getting brutalized.
So Alex Coughlin is a young lion still, apparently.
Yes.
And but he's doing his Alex Coughlin challenge. But he challenges the likes of multiple openweight champion, 5-time openweight champion, current openweight 6-time champion, guy that clubbers the shit out of people, is very, very scary man, Ishii. And that's his thing. You know, I'm not all of them are that. Like, didn't he get like a Bushi or something before or something crazy?
Yeah. Alex Coughlin is the dog chasing the truck down the road. He is.
Unfortunately, he caught an Ishii.
Yeah, he caught an Ishii. I would have to check the results to see what his other matches have been. But yeah, he's been in classic like biting off more than he can chew mode.
Yeah.
And that was fun. The thing that stood out for me is just how effective. I don't know how many people they had in that studio, but they made a lot of noise. And
yes, they did.
It added so much energy, and I can't help but compare it to what Impact is doing in their studio setting with their handful of fans, and how it still feels like, you know, just like 10 people in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people New Japan had in their studios, but it felt like they had at least 100 or so.
Is that because Canadians are just overtly polite, so they're not very loud?
No, they don't record.
No.
Well, first of all, you're not even updated on your digs because they've been recording in Nashville for the last 2 years.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
years.
Reload and insult Nashville now. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I think they were in Nashville before COVID. So, so they're in the studio, but they're in a studio, much like WWE UK is doing.
Yeah.
It's a nice setup, but it just felt empty until they got the crowd in there. And now Strong is recording in a studio currently. What we're seeing now was a studio taping in Long Island. At Thunder something Studios, Long Beach. Sorry.
No, you've got it right. The Thunder Studios.
Thunder
in Long
Studios
Beach.
in Long Beach.
And sorry to jump on you again, Sorg, but they're taking this on the road. So these upcoming shows that they've been talking about, they're going to Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex. They're going to Philly, and they're going to be recording more Strong shows in front of more fans in different venues. This show's going to be feeling awesome. I'm excited, and I know I've said this before, so self-fulfilling prophecy, but I'm gonna pat myself on the back when I was telling you guys already that Impact and ROH better watch their back, because New Japan is coming, and they are most likely already passing them by. They are drawing houses, they are touring, they're putting on an exciting dynamic TV product. They've got huge stars on their show. It's on. They better get moving. So, yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, it is. No, I watched I'm watching the intro, and you said to watch the music video at the beginning of the G1. I have not yet.
Why? No.
Because
Why not?
I've had 0 time since we talked this morning. Okay.
Gosh, we should all watch it together. We're all gonna watch it together later.
I might work too much. And I was watching some jazz, but anyways. I'm watching the intro going into, and then the rest of Strong, and I'm sitting there thinking, this show, if it got syndicated or something, could be competitive to what's happening with Ring of Honor. It's a comparably better show. This is not to say anything on the talent, anything like that, but it's and again, I haven't seen the Ring of Honor shows, TV shows with a crowd yet. I've seen the pay-per-views, which of course
because those haven't happened yet.
They haven't happened yet. Okay, so which I'm not even. I can't watch it. I just can't. You know, I just want to put that era behind us, and I know we're getting through the last of the taping still, and I know there's some great stuff coming from Impact that got taped this weekend with some friends of the show. That's definitely worth checking out. So you know, so Impact, what's up? What's going on? What's going on with my subscription? Anyways, we'll get that. We'll get that figured out so I can watch my friends wrestle. So that's it. I just want to watch my friends wrestle, okay? And in order to do that, I have to purchase every subscription to do that. And I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. So anyways. But no, yeah, Lady Frost is a part of the Knockdown. Is that what it's called? Something like that? Like
yes.
It's going to be their women's show.
It is coming up on October 9th.
Yes, and I believe it was pre-recorded this past weekend. So look out for. Is that going to be an Impact? That's got to be an Impact Plus special.
That's an Impact Plus.
Okay.
Yep.
Basically, the Impact Plus specials, Mike. Since I know you're not on it lately, I know this isn't gonna.
Oh, it's like their one night only.
It's their one night onlys. Oh, all of them they're basically one night onlys.
Honestly, no, that one I will watch that because I heard
Yeah.
Veda's on commentary, right?
Veda. Oh yeah, it's Veda.
Yep.
I got to work with Veda. I mentioned this on Twitter. I think last night when I was dozing off. I worked with Veda. She did commentary for the Polycult, and she was she's the one that was like, oh, just put the camera on me, knowing we're on Twitch and live, and it's like, oh, just put the camera on me and I'll just start talking. I'm just like, oh, that's fantastic. Yes, absolutely. We will use you. Absolutely. Though Veda's I've worked on shows with her before, but I've never actually like worked directly, interacted with her. And she was just wonderful and an absolute professional, and I'm glad to see that she's getting some stuff
I don't
going
know
on.
why she's not like a lead commentator on AEW.
A lead commentator?
I have no idea why. I have no idea because I saw a couple episodes of either Dark or Dark Elevation that she was on doing commentary, and she was great.
And that was a year ago. She's even better now, right? I think.
I'm sure.
I think she was. I think the reason she's not still is because she was just starting then, was not ready to keep going with them, or maybe something with COVID held it back.
Oh, and like Mark Henry has years of commentary.
I think I think Veda made a decision fairly recently that this is something that she wants to commit to.
Right.
And she's obviously doing that and doing it successfully. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out going forward because, Impact wouldn't be stupid to grab her up for themselves either.
Nope.
For full time. I mean, we all love
Striker,
Striker, but I mean, Veda could definitely do that, and you could slide Striker over to color in 3-person booth. So,
no more 3.
Wait, is D'Lo still there?
No more.
Yeah, D'Lo's still there.
Okay.
Just slide out D'Lo and slide in Veda.
Hey, in the era of the 4-person booth, 3-person booth, not so bad.
It's so crowded at AEW.
No, honestly,
right
they're
now.
both terrible.
Yes. Yeah, listen, I want to give a shout out right now, okay? I want to give a shout out, a respectful shout out to Doc Doherty over at RWA. Matt, you were there, although you listened to none of it because you were on camera, but you kept pointing the camera at him.
His nonverbals were great.
The nonverbals were fantastic, and I loved how he did see where there was a second camera, and he would switch off and stuff, and he did have a little monitors that we set up for him. So, but Doc, Joey Styles the shit out of that RWA show, Fall Free for All this past weekend, which also included. So, but I'll get to what I included in a second. But I just. He was solid. He didn't lose his voice. There was no dead space, like noticeably. I'm impressed on what he did on that. I'm not that I didn't think he was capable, but I don't think I've heard him do a solo like that for a while. And the added pressure, like, hey buddy, we're gonna throw things on Twitch tonight because we're doing a tech test, right? And he just took it in stride and did it and was a fucking pro at it, and I just want to give some shouts to Doc on that one. He's been killing on some stuff lately, and really getting. I don't know. He's a lot of guys like post COVID. From referees we talked to like we're not fucking around with our professional, like our jobs anymore around professional wrestling, and that's, I mean, it's wrestlers too, but I'm just saying, even the other parts of the show, like those guys and production and things like that, like people are like, let's effing do this, you know, and it's really, really cool to see. So I just want to throw that. But I also want to say we did have O'Shea Edwards on the show, had a great match with John Roden, one of our favorites, and we had a main event, and Matt, first of all, Matt did not have to save small children, to my awareness, this show, or go under the ring during a battle royal. But you did get to
I was
film.
only nearly struck by a person 3 or 4 times.
Although he did have,
so
the main event was J-Rock Daddy and Brian Johnson of Ring of Honor, and that was a pleasure to have him there. So
you wanna share Brian Johnson's dirty secret?
No,
Pretty
I'm
nice
not.
guy.
I wasn't going to. Well, literally, he's backstage all night, and we're interacting just generally, right? Just from production aspect and everything like that. And it just, like, the mind divorces, and he comes out and cuts a promo on Wes Newton. And if you've seen a Brian Johnson promo, it's usually an incendiary. I'm not saying that right. Incendiary. It's an incendiary promo about wherever the hell they are, usually, like a classically FU promo. And I'm like he literally came out, got on the mic first thing, and I'm on the headset with you guys. I'm like, oh, this guy. So
yeah,
not that I didn't know who he was, but again, that brain disconnect happened there. So
no, you're right. He definitely transforms into a completely different person when he goes out through that through that curtain.
Oh, it's just like Shane Taylor. It's
backstage.
It's
backstage. Brian Johnson, and in front of everybody, Brian Johnson is a stark contrast.
We've had this discussion about Shane Taylor.
Almost don't recognize him.
Yeah, Shane Taylor comes to that curtain, and you're just like, no, he will murder me. And if you get in the way, yeah, he will. No, Matt had the issue where everybody wanted to run into the post exactly where Matt was standing, and Matt didn't have a lot of cord.
I got this deal where I got like where I'm hardwired to a box that's underneath the ring. And my concern is that when I retreat away from the ring post to give the wrestlers space so they can crash into the ring post, that my cable will trip them, and I will cause some debilitating, potentially career-threatening injury to one of these very talented, skilled professional wrestlers. And that for me would be just the worst outcome of anything I can imagine. That would break my heart. So I try to do everything in my power to not let that happen. Unfortunately, sometimes these wrestlers don't give me much of a choice, and I have to I end up in these positions where I've got to duck and cover. Like, these guys could not help themselves. They're coming right for the ring post where I'm tethered to. And just they keep coming toward me. This one tag match, they came at me 3 separate times, Sorg. And to the point where I'm apologizing to these guys after the matches. I'm finding them during the intermission. I'm really sorry I got in your way. I'm really sorry I got in your way. I went and apologized to J-Rock, and he was like, I didn't even see you. I didn't even know. I didn't know anything. I was just wrestling. I'm like, of course you were. You didn't know You didn't know I was out there. You're just in the zone. But from my perspective, I'm I'm ruining this match. That's the fear. So somewhere between I'm ruining this match and I injured a wrestler. That's my.
Man, you carry a lot of stress when you're out there on camera, don't you?
Fear zone for me. I carry those concerns out there with me.
Wow.
Every show, Sword.
Wow. And which he says he's like, I'm worried out there. He's like, I'm worried about hurting them. And if I say in his ear, don't worry, the wrestlers can take care of themselves.
I just don't think. I just think that if I make a sudden move, and suddenly this cable that is just sitting on the ground suddenly becomes like a tripwire, that could be a bad outcome.
I mean, you're also filming 2 wrestlers who have done a bit of TV, so they're aware. They're used to.
Which makes me wonder, if they're out there, say if Brian Johnson and O'Shea Edwards are out here going why the hell are these cables right here in my path? They should be somewhere else, So,
maybe.
I don't know.
Anyways,
maybe there's a better way. Who knows?
Hey, heels update. It's fucking good. Get to episode 3, okay?
I haven't watched episode 3 yet.
Yeah, no. Episode 3 will change everything for you, sir. Trust me.
Sure it will.
Trust me. That's the one. It's still a sad, depressing show. 6 episodes.
Of course, yeah. It's about independent wrestling in 2021. It's gonna be
in southern Georgia. In southern Georgia, add in suicide and a family left behind.
Lovely.
And that's your warning for episode 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So it gets Mike, I will trigger warning you on this one. This one's going to get harsh on episode 3, but it picks up as well. So it's a little bit of shock and awe at the same time.
It's going to hurt.
Yes.
But it's fine.
No, there's a graphic.
We rebound from it. We bounce back.
That's exactly right. So just with that, but no, I think it gets very, very good. But also you start asking yourself questions a little bit, because I'm not want to get too much into it, but there's some stuff where like I don't know if that would happen in independent wrestling. But also they do, and this is good. I think you might have seen this on episode 2. Maybe this did happen on 3, but. 6 episodes it's out. So there's a part where they kind of, it's very timely because they kind of do the plane ride from hell.
Oh no!
And the plane ride from hell just dropped on Dark Side of the Ring, and I don't remember the last time I went to a locker room and everybody was talking about a Dark Side of the Ring episode. Okay, and when Twitter was and everything else, and obviously we've heard about what's up with Tommy Dreamer and Ric Flair and some of the fallout there. I didn't watch the last 10 minutes of it, guys. So I'm like, I didn't think the stuff he said was that bad. I just watched the last 10 minutes before the show. Oh fuck, that is. Oof, that is great. That is unfortunate and tone deaf.
I think Mr. Dreamer should change his name to the Innovator of Silence.
Tommy
because
Dreamer,
he needs to shut the fuck up.
Tommy Dreamer should not have such a vocal opinion on sexual assault victims. I'm sure Tommy Dreamer
has probably dreamed of being associated with Ric Flair his entire life.
This is my chance.
This is not the way he intended it.
No. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And you could say, well, it was edited to say a certain way, and I'm like, no, that was a pretty
no.
There's
statement. No defense.
And
no defense.
It's one of those.
I mean, you could say like, okay, it was edited a certain way, it was done a certain way, but like, just the tone from Tommy at the end, you know, I just sit there and I'm like, Tommy, you can think these things, but it's 2021 and you do not say that out loud.
No.
Like, we say this all the time on this podcast and others, you know, we've got a long way to go. All right.
Yeah.
Some very small steps have been taken. There is a long way to go.
Yes.
But I would have expected someone who chooses to be in just the eye of the storm, doing a daily radio show about professional wrestling, would have at least a basic understanding of what the moral expectations are in 2021,
and guys,
just the basic, you know.
Guys, I hate to tell you, it ain't gonna get better this week.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear what this week?
What's the
no? What's this week's?
Canyon.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
it's not going to get better.
Not get better for who?
For who?
Because
Ric Flair.
Well.
Oh, really?
All right.
Okay.
I didn't know what kind of a role Flair has in this, but.
From what I've heard, he said some real inappropriate shit to Canyon when they're in WWE and in WCW.
Okay.
And I'm like, just.
And the problem,
nope.
Just
a whole lot of nope.
And the problem is it's being relitigated in 2021, right? So,
well, I mean, to be fair,
it's always a problem
back then.
But yeah.
So I never got a chance to get litigated.
Yeah,
but the point is taken. The I want to try to put this in some. I want to find some sort of positive light to put this into. And the flight attendant kind of does that for on her own part at the end of that episode where she's talking to me. If I just tell this story and somebody watches it and one person changes, because I've shared this story, then maybe that will do a little bit of good. I don't think we should look at it necessarily as a bad thing that these kinds of stories are getting out. And I hope that the one on Canyon is kind of almost has kind of a similar outcome too. That we're like, I'm glad that this ugly series of events is out there now in a wider forum for more people to ingest it. Dark Side of the Ring. In the long run, I hope is doing some good for the business. I just, I mean, it's not like everyone is holding pro wrestling up on this pedestal as this like, just like something to be admired or virtuous or anything like that. Like, there's some bad shit going on in this business.
The thing is,
and sometimes people need to be reminded that there's bad stuff going on involving, people who should know better, who are still out and about in the business. So,
and then that works itself out. You go probably, hopefully, more so these days than then. And I mean, we all know. Like, I feel like smart fans, whatever you want to call us, we know wrestling backstage is a shit show, right? I mean,
yeah. So I think you tweeted over the weekend, your favorite wrestler is probably an asshole.
Yes.
And I've never identified with anything more. Like,
it is.
Yep, I was running through the list. I'm like, yep, probably.
Listen, I am still and we've gotten this argument on the show, Mike, right? When I bring him up, I'm like, hey, Chris Jericho is still, without a doubt, my favorite wrestler of all time. Chris Irvin's a fucking asshole, okay? Hulk Hogan is the wrestler that I grew up on in Ultimate Warrior. But those guys are fucking assholes and racist and homophobic, okay? There's a separation there, Tom Cruise, I love his movies. I probably don't want to have a beer with him, okay?
I don't even love his movies.
Like,
he
entertainment
just seems like a prick.
In general. And if you do find the nice guys, Mark Henry, fucking great guy. Booker T, fucking great guy. Me and stories from people I know. Whoa.
Well, here... Go ahead, I'll finish up.
But in wrestling and business dealings, like, I don't know, he might have done some other shit. I don't know. He has done. He's been in jail. He talks about it, right? He has a history of doing bad shit. But like has done right by people, at least in recent years, okay? And doesn't have to, right? And not in a business way, like other stuff. So that's where that is, but and maybe more people, people are going to AEW because they like the vibe, the family. Maybe less people are assholes there. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But it's a company culture is what it feels like. And that can be debatable when you go down the list. Sure, but I mean, you can't do a company that size.
I'm just saying, Dustin was mentioned in Dark Side of the Ring, so I mean, there's bad apples in every.
Wait, are we talking about the plane ride?
Yes.
About him being a drunken idiot after he got divorced.
And sexually harassing.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as Flair,
okay.
but it was still there.
Okay, that I did not catch. Okay, apologize.
Yeah,
I did not catch that when I was watching the show. So, okay.
Dustin, Hall, and Flair were all accused of sexual misconduct.
Okay. Yeah. I believe it. I mean,
yeah.
And
Dustin also verbally harassing his ex-wife too.
Yes.
Let's throw that in there as well.
Not okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know where this ends up with, but it's just a little bit of like.
Well, I know one place it ends up. Try going on WWE Shop and searching for Ric Flair.
Oh no! I understand you won't see those Car Shield commercials for a little bit now. So
it was on. There was one on tonight.
Oh, was there? There was something about suspension, but it's one of those like
it was probably already cycled.
Yeah, it's in the cycle,
schedule.
and they probably had to make goods and things like that. It would probably cost CarShield more money to pull them at this point, up to a certain, like, you might still see them for a week or something, right? Whatever that number is gonna be, right? So they're still in the queue on your fight fight TV watching episodes or something.
There's a price point where they're willing to accept the backlash.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's good to know.
Exactly. We should wrap this up.
Sorry.
It's all right. Go ahead.
My only thing I wanted to throw on top of this, especially when we talk about like how well we know wrestlers, I might be able to say I am friends with maybe a handful of wrestlers. I would be able to honestly say that. And I think about all the people over the past year or so who have friends, family members, who have discovered things about friends and family members that has turned their opinions about them completely around to the point where some don't even want to associate with these former friends and I guess now estranged family members. And we are here, and we're talking about people that we and others would be very close with, our family and our friends, the people who we interacted with in person many times. And now we're supposed to sit here and pretend that we have any kind of authority or have any kind of insight into what these professional wrestlers are in real life, behind the scenes, when all the facade is down and everything like that. Well, we do not. So if they're nice, if they're entertaining when they're out on screen, great. If they're nice to me and if we interact on a one-on-one basis, even better.
Right.
Do I know them?
Right.
No.
Right.
I don't.
There's a certain.
I think I saw Jordan Grace tweet over the weekend, like, don't judge a wrestler based on how they are at appearances. They are paid to be nice to you.
That is true. That is true. But somehow Scott Steiner's still an asshole. I don't get it. And I. And this is, I don't know, this will apply to this conversation, but through all this over the last year and things, I don't believe in throwing people away based on these ideological disagreements. And that includes wrestling and wrestlers, I suppose, too. I mean, until it gets to a certain threshold of that's not okay. That is, and that's where I'm at with that. So
I believe in seeing their response, and based on their initial response, then potentially throwing them away. Because Tommy Dreamer's initial tweet didn't exactly cut the mustard.
Right.
I mean, we all have our own. We all have. Everyone's line is somewhere different. That's all a very personal thing. Sorg, I feel very much kind of of the same mind as you, where I don't feel like I'm quick to just dismiss people based on one or two bad things that they say, because people say stupid stuff. I say stupid stuff on here all the time too.
Yep.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't base it on one or two things.
I got 16 years.
It's got to be like a track record.
Habitual line step.
I got 16 years of questionable things I've said on this show. So
yeah, like I remember there was, this was a couple of years ago. I think Rhea Ripley got caught saying like a bad slur or something like that, but like has since recanted and like has donated money and stuff.
And I'm like, curious, is it something that is like in Australia? Is that okay? You know what I mean? It's what some people came back from Mexico and they're like, oh, we can't. We say this all the time down here because that's where Mexico's at, right? Mexico has not pushed forward, so you're not aware that other places aren't, and you go to a different country.
Or like the James Gunn thing.
Yeah,
like when James Gunn was let go from Disney for comments he said years ago.
Yeah,
and has since recanted. And everything. And it's just like,
listen, I think most of us have grown up around like, cis white guys at least. Have grown up around certain atmospheres where certain things have said, and you realize later, oh, that's not a thing I'm supposed to say. But maybe you did at the time because that's what everybody did around you, know. But I mean, I think people are allowed to grow.
Like if that interview from Tommy Dreamer was back in 2002.
Yeah, if it was unearthed from 2004, then it's like, wow, that was a shitty thing.
Then maybe
he can say, listen, man, that's where my head was then.
But this was probably recorded in March.
Yeah, no, this is within the last year. So, and when all this other stuff has happened, and I don't know, maybe he felt like he was in a safe. That's a problem. Maybe that's also he felt like he was in a safe place and could say stuff. And it's like, the cameras are on, pal.
He's being interviewed for.
I know, right?
So, Dark Side of the Ring.
Yes. So somebody else brought up the part where they asked Jim Ross why did nobody do anything about Ric Flair, and he's like, well.
He's Ric Flair, and honestly,
I mean, that's about the most honest, response. One of the most honest moments of that whole episode, because that is the ugly truth, is that there are people who get away with this, and there are people who will not get away with this, and you see it in wrestling, you see it in pro sports, you see it in politics, you see it in everyday life, where if you could reach a certain level, apparently you can get away with more stuff than other people, and this is not the way this is supposed to work. And
this is a very entertainment business thing, and they are an entertainment business. All right, we've solved all the world's problems, I'm sure, and I'm sure I'm gonna
we still got work to do.
Hold on. Let's talk about something light real quick before we start.
Okay.
And by light, I mean devastating. Marvel What If with Killmonger.
Oh jeez, yes. Oh jeez, yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Maybe my favorite episode of the series so far.
You say that every week.
No, I don't. I wasn't huge on the zombie one. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. Like, honestly, if I had to rank them so far, Killmonger and Captain Carter are tied neck and neck. Right below that, T'Challa, Star-Lord.
Okay.
But Michael B. Jordan.
T'Challa, Star-Lord.
God, man.
Yeah.
God, he is a wonder. That episode was just like, because if you saw the Black Panther movie, you heard like his whole deal was that he breaks it, he infiltrates operations when they're at their weakest, and then takes them over completely. Like, that was just a class in how he does what he does.
And
like he knew Tony was going to be attacked because he intercepted the communique from Obadiah Stane. So he steps in, becomes Tony's best friend, infiltrates Stark Industries, and uses Stark to infiltrate Wakanda. Like, my word! The mental gymnastics on that were amazing.
Well, my take on it also was, like, when you watch Black Panther, like, I think they do a lot to make you. I mean, there's certain points where you sympathize with like him, and there's certain points where you sympathize with Thanos, even in his insane thing. But you see where it's coming from and where the logic went, and you wonder in the same situation you would have done the same thing, right? Like the bad guys, hey, Mick Foley said the best bad guys think they're right, and So I feel like when you watch Black Panther, you have some sympathy for Killmonger, and like, he's right, but he's going a step too far. This was, well, he's coming from that same place, but man, he goes some places and makes you less sympathetic with him on this one. So like, that was my take from that. So on top of everything you said as well. So
Matt, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was really interesting, and I kind of liked how like you're watching like Killmonger during the episode, and like I've seen Black Panther, so I'm like, he's a bad guy, all right, but he appears to be like kind of like chumming and helpful with Tony for a while, and I'm kind of like, I still don't trust him. So finally,
but you also kind of want it to work.
There is a part of me that's kind of like, you know what, maybe this is what if. Maybe like Killmonger's just gonna be a cool guy in this one, but no, not to be.
Just like Thanos was a cool guy in that other one. So and we're all joking about genocide.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, Killmonger is like, that's part of the character. It's like, and it goes back to the Black Panther movie too. That he's so charming and well written that you reach certain points, you're just kind of like, I see it. Might be, And then you're like, oh wait, he stabbed him. Okay, maybe not.
oh. By the way, the one takeaway I think we can all have from What If, it's not good to be Tony Stark.
No,
He's died every single time he's featured.
Oh, has he?
I wonder if there's a message behind that. That he's like,
one
in a million
the message is Downey's done. He's not coming back.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right, well, at that point, guys, this is so much fun. We're going to have even more fun tomorrow night because it's Tuesday night. It is the fully unfettered edition of the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We don't have any guests lined up. We'll probably talk about...
we have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about. We need to run down this card for basically a pay-per-view happening at AEW this week.
And Sorg, I have to tell you all you guys about my sabbatical to New Jersey.
Yes. Yes, maybe that'll be a special edition. Maybe we'll do it for Patreon. I don't know. Guys, thank you so much. Mad Mike 483 on the tweets.
And also, apparently, RJ City's Instagram.
There you go. What's up, RJ City? Thank you for the shares of that video. And, of course, Mainstream Matt of JustProWrestlingNews.com.
It's very simple, folks. 5 minutes every single morning, and I personally will catch you up on the biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling so you can continue to live your busy life. Find us on your podcast app. Talk to your smart speaker. Sign up, subscribe, and it'll be great. I promise.
There you go. Thank you, guys, everybody. We'll see you next time. Until then, Mayhem out. Please stay tuned for Silk Stocking. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.